of 57, which of these numbers which of these could be the number that John thinks of? Choose the correct answer.
Okay. So first of all, Ebenezer, what is a prime number?
A prime number is something that can't be divided by itself.
Yeah, so a prime number is any number that can only be divided by itself and 1. Okay, that's a prime number. What's a factor?
A factor is something I think it's in the way you get it to the number, like a certain sequence.
Yeah. So factors are numbers that can be divided, smaller numbers that can be divided into the bigger number in question. So which numbers here can divide into 57? So any number
19?
that can divide, so any number that can divide into 57 is going to be a factor. All right. So we're looking for a number that's a factor and a prime number. Now you said, what did you say? Just repeat that again.
19.
19. So you said 19 is a factor of 57. 19 goes into 57 how many times?
Twice.
I'll try one more time. Let's try 3 times. Okay, 3 times 9 is?
3 times 9 is 27.
7 goes there, 2 is carried forward. 3 times 1 is 3. And add the 2.
5.
57. Yeah, can you see? So 19 goes into 57 3 times. So yes, it's a factor. Now let's check if 19 is a prime number. Let's just check. Can any other number divide into 19 apart from 19 and 1?
No.
No. So no other number can divide into 19 apart from 19 and 1. That means it is also a prime number. So you were right, Ebenezer, when you said that the prime number between 10 and 30 and the prime number of factor of 57 is 19. Well done. That's good. So let's go for the option 19. Thank you, Ebenezer.
No problem.
And we're just moving on to question number 2. So let's just read this together. So Hannah's house is 520 meters west of her school. Her school is 150 meters east of the church. If all the 3 buildings are on the same street, what is the distance between her house and the church? Okay, so let's start with, what's the biggest number here? The biggest number here is 520. Let's just write that down. 520 meters. Her school is 150 meters east. So let's take, remember the direction, so north, south, east, and west. Okay, so that's a small compass for you there, so you understand how that works. So Hannah's house is 520 meters west of her school. Her school is 150 meters east of the church. If all the 3 buildings are on the same street, what is the distance? So let's just take away 150 meters from 520. And that gives us 370 meters. That's pretty much all you need to do. Okay, don't need to complicate the question any more than it already is. All you need to know is 520 meters to the west of the school, so school must be in the middle. School is 150 meters east of the church. Sorry, so the school, Hannah's house is here. church is here, and school is here. Okay, so this is going to the west. Here we're going to the east. And all we're doing is just doing 520 meters, take away 150 meters, and that's giving us 370 meters altogether as our answer. Okay. Let's go on to question number 3. The figure below is formed from 2 regular hexagons. So remember, a hexagon has 6 sides, each with a side length of 6 centimeters. What is the perimeter of the figure? First of all, let's show you what a perimeter is, just as a recap. Perimeter is measurement around a shape. Okay, so so we know that it's 6 centimeters altogether, all the way around, each side of length 6 centimeters. So this is 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and 6 centimeters. Now you're not looking at this middle line, because this middle line is not apparent, even though 2 hexagons are joined together, because we always measure around the shape and not inside the shape. So now, if we mark off the 6s, so how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 6s altogether. So 10 multiplied by 6 is 60 centimeters all the way around this shape. So 60 centimeters in this case will be your answer. That's the perimeter. Let's move on to question number 4. So the angle between the minute and the hour hand is, in a clock, is 45 degrees. Which of the following could be the time shown on the clock? So in this case, if we're looking at, for example, 4:30, the minute hand points to 6 and the hour hand halfway between 4 and 5. So let's just work this out very quickly. So let's just make a mock clock here. Okay, remember there's various ways to always do working out. Okay, so let's have a look here. So the angle between the minute and the hour hand is 45 degrees. Now remember, 45 degrees is half of 90 degrees. How much is 90 degrees? 90 degrees is going to be around about this much. This is 90 degrees, but we're looking at roughly half. Roughly half. All right. So let me just work this out. And let's try. Let's say, for example, the time was 4:30. So 4, roughly here, 4:30. Now, can you see the 4 is coming just here? So it's basically going to be halfway. I would say it's halfway here. So that's a shorthand, even though it looks long here. This is a shorthand. This is a long hand. Just for the purposes of showing you, I've made it slightly longer. So this is going to be half of what we call 90 degrees. So 90 degrees is going to be here. Okay. and this is roughly half. So I would say that 4:30 is the time where you have 45-degree angle between the two times, the 4 and the 6. Okay, so this much here, half of a right angle. And 4:30 will be the answer in this case. Okay, let's go for 4:30 there. Let's go on to question number 5. The figure below is a cube covered in identical square tiles. One tile on each face of the figure is shaded black. What fraction of the surface area of the figure is shaded black in this case? Let's go to Adam for this one.
Hi.
Hi Adam, are you right?
Yeah.
Good boy. Is this a question that you can try?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think
Let me just move it up. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the answer would be B.
How would you work this out?
So first, I would count how many squares is on one face of the cube,
Yeah.
and times it by 6.
Yeah. So how many tiles on one face?
9.
Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You're absolutely right. And how many sides in a cube?
6.
We know that it's 6 sides, yeah. So how many tiles altogether?
54.
Good lad. So we know now know that there are 54 tiles altogether. And how many of those 54 tiles are shaded black?
6.
6, because there's one black tile in each face, times by 6 gives you 6 black tiles. Now the question is saying what fraction, now this is a key word for everybody to understand, what fraction of the surface area of the figure is shaded black? So how would you write that as a fraction, Adam?
6/54, which is also 1/9.
6/54. So you write the answer as 6/54. And now, because 6/54 is not in our multiple choice answers, we now know that we have to simplify this. And how would you simplify this, Adam?
I would do how many times 6 goes into 54?
Yeah, so 6 goes into 6 how many times?
Once.
And 6 goes into 54 how many times?
9.
Excellent. So now our answer is 1/9. Adam, that's very good working out, by the way.
Thank you.
Well done. Good lad. Okay, so we go for 1/9 as our answer. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Adam. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. The figure below is formed from identical squares, each with a side length of 2 centimeters. What is the area of the figure itself? So in this case, a side length is 2 centimeters. Keywords here are squares. Now we know that all squares are the same length, sides, and they're worth 2 centimeters. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. What is the area of the actual figure? So 1 square. Now to work out area, you do width times height. Okay, or it could be width times length, it's the same thing. So 2 times 2 equals 4 centimeter square. That's 1 square. That's the area of just one square. But how many squares are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So you do 4 centimeters square times by 4 squares equals 16 centimeter square in terms of the area. Because remember, to work out area, you do width times height. So for 1 square, we know is 4 centimeters squared. Multiply that by 4 squares, and that gives you 16 centimeters squared altogether. Okay, and let's move on to the next question. So Nina walks 2.5 miles in 20 minutes. At this rate, what distance does she walk in 1 hour? How many times do minutes go into an hour? So look at the keywords. Remember the keywords? 2.5 miles, 20 minutes, 1 hour. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. And for 20 minutes, Nina walks 2.5 miles. How many times does 20 minutes go into 1 hour? 3 times. That means we multiply 2.5 miles by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 is carried forward. 3 times 2 is 6. Add the 1 at the bottom is 7. Just stick a decimal point underneath. 7.5 miles in this case will be the correct answer. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So a pattern is used to shade the squares within a 3 times 3 grid, which is the first one. 4 times 4 grid shown below. How many shaded squares will there be in a 5 times 5 grid with the same shading pattern? So what you can do for this question, you can actually create a 5 by 5 grid if you want. But let's just have a quick look at this. So here we know that there are 9 squares altogether, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are shaded. Here we have 16 squares altogether, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are shaded. Okay? And if we go into a 5th triangle, so we know that 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. How much will be shaded? So how many of them are shaded from the top? Let's go and get an answer for this one. Let's go to Iman for this one. Hello, Iman.
Hello.
Any ideas?
Yes. I think it's E15.
And how did you work that out?
Because the square is going to have
Should I give an explanation?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the first one, 1, 2, 3 squares are not shaded. The second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares are not shaded. So they're going up in threes, right? So what's 6 add 3?
9.
9. So that means 9 squares are not going to be shaded. So what's 25 minus 9?
15.
15, yes. So did you say before that 15 was the answer?
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, I would choose 15. I mean, some of you might have a completely different working out method, but I found that this one was slightly easier. All right, if you used a different working out method, that's absolutely fine. So long as the answer is correct, that's absolutely fine. Thank you very much, Iman.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's go for 15 here. And let's go on to the next one. So the length of a portrait is 73.5 centimeters, while its width let's just say that's a portrait. So the length is 73.5 centimeters. The width is 40.98 centimeters. What is the difference between the length and the width? So here we're just going to do a simple calculation. So 73.5 take away by 40.98. All right, always put the big number on top, small number at the bottom. If there's a gap, stick a 0. All right, let's just take these away now. So we can't take 8 from 0 because 0 is too small. Can't take 9 from 5 because 5 is too small. So let's go to 3, cancel the 3, turn it into 2, and borrow the 1 to make 15. But we also need to make 0 bigger. Cancel 15, turn it into 14, and borrow the 1 there. So 10 take away 8 is 2. 14 take away 9 is 5. Decimal point comes here. 2 take away 0 is 2. And 7 take away 4 is 3. So 32.52, which is going to be E, is going to be our correct answer there. And the last one in this question. So the table below shows the number of ants in an ant colony during the different seasons. Did anybody see lots of flying ants recently in the past 2-3 weeks at all? Because there was a colonization of flying ants, quite a lot of them actually. They came from France, and in High Wycombe there were quite a few actually, which I saw a few weeks ago. The table below shows the number of ants in an ant colony during different seasons. What is the range of the number of ants in the ant colony during the different seasons? Now, keyword here is range. What's the meaning of range? Range means biggest number take away smallest number. Now, I don't mind even if you're making notes while you're going through this lesson. That's actually a good thing because you're picking up some new mathematical concepts here as well. So to work out range, we do the biggest number take away the smallest number. So the biggest number here we can see is winter, so it's 1,423. The smallest number that we can see here on our grid is spring, which is 644. And again, range is biggest number take away smallest number. We just have to take it away, and that gives us 779 altogether if you take them away. Remember to always make the top number bigger when you're subtracting, and 779 in this case will be the correct answer. Okay, and that's the last question done there. So let's move on to test number 4 very quickly. For test number 4, I'm going to get some contributions from you, okay? So let's go. All right, so test number 4 is, so 8 bags of compost cost £10. So altogether, 8 bags cost £10. What is the cost of 15 bags? Who would like to answer this particular question? Let's go to a few of you to get some feedback. Let's go to Rian for this one. Just unmute yourself, Rian. Kindly. Okay, Rian, if you could kindly turn your video on, please, because that's one of the rules of our class. Have to have your video on. It's very important, so I can see you as well. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to Hisham. I'll come back to you, Rian, in a second. Hello, Hisham.
Hi.
Hi there. Go ahead, Hisham.
So if 8 bags of compost cost £10, 1 bag would cost £1.25.
Okay, so you did £10 divided by 8 bags equals, you said, was?
£1.25.
£1.25. Okay, so let's just do a quick calculation here for people if you don't know. So 10.0, just put a decimal there, it's fine. 8 doesn't go, 8 goes into 10 once. What's the remainder?
2.
2. Stick the 2 next to 0 there. This decimal point comes up here from the top. How many times does 8 go into 20?
Twice, with the remainder of 4.
Twice with a remainder of 4. Now you might be asking, yes, but 1.2 remainder 4 doesn't make sense because the answer should be £1.25. Well, what we do is, now this is all about decimals. So 4, as you can see here, is half of 8. And how do you write half as a decimal? 0.5. So what you do is you turn this answer to 1.2 and just stick that 5 at the end. Get rid of the remainder, and that's how you get £1.25. Okay, so where do we go from here? £1.25?
So you would keep the £10 as it is 8 bags, but on top of that you would add 7 times £1.25.
Okay, so 1 bag is £1.25. Now you need 15, don't you? So you do £1.25 times by 15 bags. Is that right?
Yeah.
How much will that give us?
£18.75.
That will give us £18.75. So you need to do a lot of working out for this question because you've got some division to do. You've also got some multiplication to do where you've got 2 bits of multiplication here. So you've got various techniques just to answer this particular question. All right, lots and lots of working out required here. So we'll go for your answer, £18.75, sorry, Hisham. Let's do one more together. What value does 7, actually Hisham, I'll come back to you in a minute, okay? Thank you. Let's go to Rian, check whether his system is working properly.
Hi.
Hi Rian, are you okay?
Yeah, my camera isn't working. I just fixed my microphone.
Okay, no problem at all. So what value does 7 represent in the following number? Can you just read that number out to me, Rian? That big number.
97,091.
97,091, correct. So what will the 7 stand for?
1,000.
Yeah, so 7,000. So in this case, D will be the correct answer. Yes, Rian?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you, Rian. I'll talk to you a bit shortly, okay? Later.
Okay.
Let's go on to the next question. Get some feedback from some of you. Hi, Humira.
Hi.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good. Just read that question for me, please.
Rob is 1 meter and 6 centimeters tall. His sister is 2.5 centimeters shorter than him. What is Robert's sister's height? Choose a correct answer.
Yeah, so Robert is 1 meter and 6 centimeters tall. Let's turn the meters into centimeters. So there are 10 centimeters into 1 meter. So let's just do this together, Amira. So 1 meter and 6 centimeters. How many centimeters do you think that will be? So in 1 meter, there are 100 centimeters, right? So if we had 1 meter, which is 100, and then you have 6, add the 2 together.
106 centimeters.
Yes, so 106 centimeters, right? So we're just converting it all to centimeters, so it just makes it easy for us to work out. Now the second bit is, we know that Robert is 106 centimeters tall. His sister is 2.5 centimeters shorter. 2.5 centimeters shorter than him. So now what we're going to do is, we are going to take away 2.5 centimeters away from 106 centimeters. But it's a difficult one to actually write out. So let me just do it with a different ink color. So you have 106 centimeters, take away 2.5 centimeters. Now you might be asking, why on earth have I put it this way? Well, because 2 doesn't compare with 100. So we need to make sure that the decimals are kind of in line with each other. And Homera, what do we do in the gaps? What do we write down in the gaps?
0.
0. So let's put a 0 there, a 0 there, and a 0 there. And now we are going to take away the 2 and find out what Robert's sister's height is, because we know that she's 2.5 centimeters smaller. So can you take 5 away from 0? No. So we go next door, cancel 6, turn it into 5, and then borrow the 1 there to make 10. So now the top number is bigger. We're going to subtract easily. So what's 10 take away 5? Can you hear me there, Hamara? What's 10 take away 5? So 10 take away 5 is 5. This decimal place point comes there. What's 5 take away 2? 5 take away 2 is 3. Okay, 0 take away 0 is 0. And 1 take away nothing is 1. Does that make sense, Hamara?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just find the difference, and we're trying to work out the sister's height, because you know sister's height was 2.5 centimeters shorter than her brother Robert, which was 106 centimeters. So now we know that the sister's height is 103.5 centimeters. But it's very important for all of you to make sure that you actually write down the decimal numbers properly if it's a decimal question. So 103.5 will be the answer here. Okay, Amira, thank you so much. And we're now on to the next question. So let's go to somebody who would like to answer this one. Quite a few hands up there. Let's go to Faija. Hello, Faija.
Hi.
Hi there. So question number 4. Just read out the question for us.
This number machine doubles the input number and then adds 9 to create the output number. What input number gives the output number shown below? Choose the correct answer.
Yeah, so the number machine doubles the input number and then adds 9 to create the output number. So in this case, what do we need to do? Shall we do it from front to back or back to front?
Front to back.
Okay, so you mean this way?
Yeah.
Okay, how would you do that? Okay, I'll tell you what. That's what everybody else is saying. Let's do back to back. Because it says that now this is the output number. The output number has already been given to you. Okay? Now it says add 9. Now what's the opposite of add 9?
Take away 9.
Take away 9.
Yeah.
All right. And then it says the machine doubles, right? Now what's the opposite of timesing by 2 or doubling? Do you know what the opposite of multiply by 2 is?
Divide.
Divide by 2. Go on, what's 115 take away 9, Fraser? Take your time, work that out.
100 and 106.
Okay, so 115 take away 9 is 106. And what's 106 divided by 2? So you just need to
53.
53. There we go. So did you see how that worked, Faija?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just went from back to front. We just did exactly the opposite. We worked this way as we went along.
Okay.
Okay, best way to do it. Thank you, Faija, for that.
Thank you.
Let's go to the next one. So in the grid below, each small grid square has an area of 1 centimeter square. So each square that you can see has an area of 1 centimeter square. What is the difference in area between the two shapes? Remember that area is always written in centimeter square or meter square and so on. Why is area always written in centimeter squared or meter squared? It's because you're multiplying two numbers together. So it's, remember, width times height. And that's why it's always centimeters square. We had that small 2 number on the top right hand side because we're multiplying two numbers together. Okay, so in this case we're working out the difference between the areas of these two shapes. So can't make very good straight lines, but I'll try my best. Let's just make these into squares. It's a little bit awkward sometimes writing on a computer screen. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 centimeters square, this particular shape. Let's have a look at the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have, this could go for a half, 6.5, 7. We also have 7.5, 8 there, and we probably have 9 there, I would say, because you've got these small bits on the other side as well. So if we were to go for 9 centimeters squared here and 15 there, you just subtract the two together. So 15 take away 9 is going to be 6 centimeters square. Okay, so 6 centimeters square in this case will be the correct answer because we're just finding out the difference between the two. And let's move on to question number 6 and let's get some sort of contribution. Let's go to Zarina for this one. Hi, Zarina.
Hi.
Hi, just read the question for us.
The temperature inside a building is 7 degrees, while the temperature outside is -4 degrees. What is the difference between the temperature inside and outside? Choose the correct answer.
Okay, well done, Zarina. So you've got two temperatures there, which we know. Let's just move this down a bit so we can show everybody. So there we go. So we have -4 and we have 7, right? So from -4, let's go up to 7. So -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees. Now, we're looking for the difference, aren't we?
Yes.
So let's count from -4 to 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did you count 11 as well?
Yeah, I counted 11.
Yeah. So in this case, it's going to be 11 degrees centigrade is the difference from -4 to 7. So 11 degrees centigrade. Were you okay with that, Zarina? Good. Okay, well done. And moving on to question number 7. So we've got 3 questions left. Let's go to somebody else for this one. Let's go to Ruby.
Hi.
Hello, Ruby. Just read the question for us, please.
The table below shows the amount of pocket money received by 5 children. What is the mean amount of pocket money received per child? Choose the correct answer.
Okay, so first of all, let's find out what mean actually means. Do you know what mean means?
Does it mean if you add it all up, you add all the numbers up and then subtract it from the highest number?
Yeah, good. So you add up all the numbers and then you divide by 2. Then you divide by the amount of numbers there are, sorry. Okay, or 2 in this case. So 2 is an average. But in this case, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers altogether, we're going to divide by 5. So add up all the numbers and divide them by how many numbers there are altogether. So let's just add these up first of all, Ruby, okay? So 56, add 48, add 12, add 30, and add 80. Could you just do a quick, do you have paper and pen there?
Yeah.
Oh, go on, just try your best. Take your time.
Would it be 200?
Sorry, can you say that again in here? I didn't hear you there. Sorry, Ruby.
226.
226, that's right, well done. So 226 is the total. And now we're going to divide by 5. So let's just do bus stop division, right? So 5 cannot go into 2, so just stick a 0. Join 2 and 2 together to make 22. How many times can 5 go into 22?
It can go into it 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times. And what's the remainder?
2.
Yeah, so put the 2 there. So 5 goes into 26 5 times. And the remainder is 1. Okay, so that gives us 45, remainder 1. But we need to turn that into a decimal. So it kind of makes sense. So I'll do the same thing again what I did last time. So get the 1, the remainder, and then you have the number. How many times can 1 go into 5? So it's 1 over 5 as a fraction. Turn it into a decimal. 1 over 5 as a fraction is 0.2. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this number, 45, and we're just going to stick that 0.2 at the end from there. So our average or mean in this case is going to be £45 and 20 pence. Okay. Good, Ruby. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's go on to question number 8. So the figure below is of a dining table in the shape of a regular octagon. If the perimeter of the table is 3.6 meters, that means the perimeter all the way around this octagonal table. What is the length of each side of this particular figure? Now, in this case, we have 3.6 meters. We have 8 sides. So it's just the case of doing 3.6 divided by 8 sides. And what we can do is we can turn 3.6 meters, because remember the answer has to be in centimeters. Can you see? So how many centimeters in 1 meter? 100. So 3.6 centimeters into meters is going to be 360. Divide that by 8 sides of the shape, and that gives us 45 centimeters altogether. So in this case, 45 centimeters D will be the correct answer. Let's go on to question number 9. The chart below shows the sales of a shop online and in-store. Which of the statements is false? choose the correct answer. So store sales increased in some months and declined in others. Let's have a look at that. Store sales have increased in some months and declined in others. Let's check if that's right. So we've got some sales that are going up, some sales that are going down. So that's fine. Online sales have been greater than store sales. Online sales have been greater than store sales. We know that's right. So just tick that. Sales in the store were less in July than in October. So July is here. So sales in store were less in July than in October. That's true. So let's just tick that. Online sales were the greatest in October. Online sales were greatest in October. Yes, that's right. Let's just tick that. There was a decline in store sales from June to July. Let's check. So from June to July, there was a decline in store sales from June to July. That's true. There was, because you can see the difference is going down. Tick that. And the last one, E, store sales have increased constantly from one month to the next. That's not true. Store sales have increased constantly. That means they've been going up, 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 and up. They've never gone down. We know that's wrong. So E in this case will be the correct answer. Last question of the day, a bit of algebra. So A is a quarter of B. And which of the following shows the relationship between A and B? So A is a quarter of B. So that means it's a quarter of B. So now we're trying to find out the relationship between A and B. Let's have a look at this one. All right, so this means multiply 4 times B. So that's not right because A is smaller than B. This means 4 divided by B, which is B. That's not right either. C is B is 4 times greater than A, so B divided by 4. This is division, so B divided by 4. Now we know that B divided by 4, so if we did B divided by 4, so 4 divided by 1 gives you 4. And that's right, because A is a quarter of B, and B is bigger than A by 4 times. So in this case, C will be our correct answer. Okay, because B is 4 times bigger than A. So B divided by 4 gives you 4. So 4 divided by 1 gives you the right answer in this case, right? So C will be the correct answer. Okay, so thank you very much for this particular lesson. Thanks for attending, everybody. And I hope that was okay. If you would like to go through this lesson again, the reason I had slightly less contribution today than usual is because I wanted to go through the questions in depth to make sure that you understood each one. And you can always write notes as we go along as well, by the way, right? Just to give you that added extra knowledge as we go through these questions. Just remember that you can always go back into the recorded lessons. They'll be uploaded tomorrow morning. And you can go over them again and again just to get that extra bit of practice. Remember the key terms like mean, averages, you know what decimals are, you know area, width times height, you know the perimeter, which is the measurement all the way around a shape. You also know the difference between algebra, so what that number means, top and bottom. So you can go through these questions again by watching the recorded lesson to give you some more knowledge. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much. We've just gone over our time. I've got another lesson waiting for me as well. So look after yourselves, all right? Take care, and I will see you on Thursday. Thank you.